We are not isolationists. Why? Because the enemy's not an isolationist. We're not pacifists. Why? Because we're not stupid. That's why. We lived through World War II. We were attacked when we were isolationists and pacifists. And it cost us 450,000 American lives. World War II. And it cost other people millions of lives. We're not funding our military. Instead, we're funding something called climate change, socialism. We're not supporting our cops. Instead, we're funding illegal aliens. We're not securing the border. Instead, we're allowing anybody to flow into this country who's not been vetted, and of course the enemy's going to send in spies and terrorists. We now have new gangs we never heard of before. That's not on us. That's on you, Democrats. That's on your party, and that's on your ideology. They love to talk about a free press. I wish we had one. Free press. That Constitution you hate, that First Amendment, that's what secures your damn ass. And you hate the Constitution and the men who wrote it? How dare you? How dare you? Everything we have in this country, everything we have in this country is a result of the Revolutionary War. It's a result of the Constitutional Convention. It's a result of the Civil War. We've had our problems. We have fought through our problems. Blood, sweat. The biggest battle where we had the most casualties was the Civil War to end slavery. No other nation on the face of the earth had a civil war to end slavery. We did that. And we're not going to be fooled. That little state of Israel, those people want to live. They want to be free. They want to be left alone. God put those people there 5,000 years ago. There were no Palestinians there. In fact, the word Palestinian, media, was invented in 1965 by Arafat. The Jews used to be called the Palestinians. The Palestinians of Palestine. Now all of a sudden, they're the Palestinians. They're Arabs. That's what they are. That's okay. But they're Arabs. And they had a homeland. It was called Jordan. Jordan. You want a second state? There it is. It's called Jordan. That king has the nerve to come into our country, stand next to our imbecile. That's right, he's an imbecile. To stand next to him. Well, look, it's official now. Didn't the prosecutor say he's an imbecile? Yes. Didn't the Attorney General appoint the prosecutor? Yes. I'm supposed to ignore in so many words, okay, he's an imbecile. I got it. Fine. All right, so, and we all know he is, but he's dangerous. He's issuing executive orders against the Jewish indigenous peoples in Judea and Samaria. Since when does a president issue executive orders that extend outside of our country and are specifically targeting people like Jews? What kind of a person does something like that? Or he's telling them they must have a second two-state solution.
You know who does that? An anti-Semite does that.
What's with this two-state solution? Oh, yes. And you have to give up your home. You have to give up a little town called Shiloh. You ever heard of Shiloh? That's really where Judaism began. Before the city of David and before Jerusalem.
Our first capital.
The first capital, all the tribes came together. That's where they came together. Biden says, I don't care, give it to the Palestinians. I don't care, give Judea and Samaria to the Palestinians. The peaceful Palestinians. Where is the leader of the peaceful Palestinians? Will he please present himself so I can interview him?
I can tell you. His name is Abbas, and he is paying terrorists to kill Israelis under a program called Pay to Slay. And I can also tell you that America First Legal has sued the Biden administration for violating the Taylor Force Act. Go ahead.
And Taylor Force was an American citizen, a veteran, a West Point graduate. The peaceful Abbas Palestinians murdered him. Donald Trump said, that is enough of that. He cut off funding to the PLO. He cut off funding to UNRWA that works with Hamas. He cut off Iran and put his foot on their throat. He cut them all off. Iran was on its back. Hamas was starving to death. The PLO was in its little cage. And then comes Biden, the arsonist. Lights up the whole damn Middle East. Sends our troops there for sitting ducks. I don't even know why they're there right now. Iran, through its proxies, murder 3 of our citizens. And what's his response? Does he hit Iran? No. What did Reagan do when they hit one of our freighters? He destroyed half their Navy. What did Trump do when he said that's enough? He took out Soleimani. What does Biden do? He wants to take out Bibi Netanyahu, and he's attacking the Israelis. This is serious. And I understand this gentleman here. Nobody's suffering like him. And he raises good questions about how this happened. And they need to pursue it, and they need to figure it out. And I don't blame him. If that was my son, I'd move heaven and earth. Because these people are not just kidnappers. They're torturers. They're sadistic. They're rapists. And I'll just say one last thing. There was a report put out last week, I couldn't even read it, about what was done to these people at that festival. The devil himself couldn't come up with ideas like this. Women were murdered with weapons stuck up their genital, up their anus. They were shot. Their breasts were cut off, and they were playing catch with them. They were mass raping these young girls, murdering them while they were raping them. So I would say to the media in this country, how come you're here and you're not over there reporting? Why is that? Some of you were over there and you're actually helping the Hamas on October 7th.
I was just going to add,
somebody just got a Pulitzer Prize for it.
And the Associated Press just got sued for having some reporters embedded on October 7th.
So they knew it was happening.
Witnesses to this genocide.
So I say this on the moral equivalency stuff, name one IDF soldier who would ever even think about doing that to any human being. They're not raised that way. It's not a culture of death, it's a culture of life. And I want to say one final thing, we're out of time. Most of you aren't Jewish. Most of you are Christians. And as a Jew, I can't thank you enough. I cannot thank you enough. The Judeo-Christian belief system is what founded this country, whether the media likes it or not. And that's why we have the freedoms we have, that's why we have the principles that we have, that's why we have the Constitution that we have. Never forget it. Every person that comes to this country, regardless of their faith, Christian, Jew, Muslim, Buddhist, Hindu, or what have you, you thank the people of Christianity who founded this nation. Oh, there were Jews and others, but you thank. And I'll say one last thing. You ever go to Arlington Cemetery? It's crushing. Row after row after row after row after row of American. Brave young men and women. Star Davids, some others, the crest. The overwhelming majority of them are crosses. The overwhelming majority of them are white. The overwhelming majority of them are men. If I hear one more damn time about the white, Christian, privileged citizen, you drag your asses over to Arlington Cemetery and you tell those people that.